Howdy folks, this is Available Moxie here, and this is going to be a guide slash walkthrough of the Monk of Rokar achievement Until You Fall. The achievement is simply to beat the game on any difficulty using the Untitled Crest and the Spellsword charm. This is quite a difficult challenge because you cannot block, everything must be done via dodges. So it's a really interesting and different way to play the game and quite fun. And I've completed this challenge 3 or 4 times now. I do it fairly regularly just for fun and for exercise. So I'm really hoping that some of the things that I figured out for this challenge and some of the techniques and tactics that I use might be helpful to some people if you're also pushing for it and having a little trouble just getting the final kill there. So I'm going to, before I actually just run and begin the guide, I'm going to explain a few things, explain the strategies that I'm going to be using, why I'm doing them, and just sort of essentially have like a little mini guide first. Then when we finish up with the guide, then we're going to move on to the actual run itself. So first things first is for this challenge, it is highly recommended that your Nightblooded Crest be level 10. The reason for that is that it is the 10th level, the upgrade right at 10, that increases the health damage from 1 to 3. This is going to be incredibly important because our Spellsword's charm, even at level 10, only does 1 health damage. So at 2 guard damage and 1 health damage, we will not be attacking with the Spellsword's charm. We will be using Abyssal Pulse, so I'll go over that in a little bit. But other than that, the Spellsword charm, we ain't going to be using it. Which means that this 3 health damage is what we get. So starting with 3 health damage instead of 1 health damage is a very, very big difference. In fact, at level 10, we've got a 10 guard damage, 3 health damage weapon, which isn't terrible. I mean, like, a dagger is 10 guard, 6 health. So yeah, it does half as much health damage, but, you know, we've got some other stuff going for us. And speaking of that, if we look at the challenge and look at what Monk of Rokar gives us, it's actually not terrible. So we start with 3 additional health, which is huge. Not necessarily because we can take more hits, but because that's 3 extra shards that increase the damage of the weapons that you can take. So even though this starts at 3 health damage, you could take 3 shards of wrath if you're lucky enough to get them, and then it becomes equal to a dagger, and you just traded out your health bonus for the or your health bonus for health damage bonus, right? So as far as like the overall resources that you have, it's fairly equal. It's just very balanced in a specific odd way, where they're giving you those resources in terms of your health bar, but we can then use those resources in other ways. So that's something to just be aware of. It's not as bad as it seems at first. So we start with 20 dash impact, which is actually not bad. It's especially not bad given our limited offensive ability. We also start with 5 dash charges because the Spellsword charm gives you an extra 2. That is also quite big. So we will be relying on dashing a lot. So for this challenge, if you're aware of it or looked up, a lot of people will say, hey, Concussive Blast is going to carry you through this. Maximize Concussive Blast, get it to 4, spam the hell out of it. That is true, and that is a big thing. But your dashes are also incredibly important, and it's something that I don't see a whole lot of people talking about, is your combos with dashing and how important that is. So I'm going to be making it a point to point that out and to sort of examine that and show just how strong a dash is, especially in a challenge like this. So we also get Sucker Punch. Well, we have Martel Focus first, but that's not going to help us at all. 30% extra guard damage to 2 guard damage. So yeah, not really helpful there. But Sucker Punch is going to be quite helpful. The main downside to it is because the Nightblooded Crest will be our main weapon, we can't hold it in reserve like you normally can when it's your offhand and then use it at tactical moments. It's just going to kind of go off whenever it feels like. But when it does, we get 30 guard damage on a hit, which is pretty nice. So that'll be something nice to look forward to. And Spellsword's charm gives us Arcane Focus, which is amazing. As I mentioned, Concussive Blast is going to carry us through this. Having it charged twice as quickly is magnificent. It is great. It is the best thing that Spellsword Charm gives us, other than perhaps Void Trap itself, which is also going to be quite good. We have Abyssal Pulse. Abyssal Pulse is going to filter into the charge strategy. So what you're generally going to want to do is when you charge in with an enemy and hit him, right, we're going to deal our initial charge damage. I like to go like sort of like this, and you can see that we got a charge in to hit in. Whoops. Missed him there. Kind of hit him like this. Now, you could usually get a couple of hits in, and then the enemy will start guarding, right? As soon as he starts guarding, so we'll charge in, hit. Then what you could do is whack him with the pulse to push him back, and then charge it again and get your charge damage twice. Because normally, if you want to do this, you hit, right? Then, well, broke his guard, but if I didn't break his guard, you know, you dash back, and then dash back in, right? So that's 3. So to get your dash damage twice, right, you've got your initial dash is 1, dash back is 2, dash back in is 3, right? But if we dash, punch, push back, and then dash again, now we're getting double dash for 2 dashes instead of 3. So it's quite useful. It's a really handy trick. The other thing to note is that when you're fighting enemies, try not to fight them with their back against a wall, because you want to be able to push them back with Abyssal Pulse if you need to. It's super useful, and I'll kind of demonstrate it once we get into the field. We start with 4 combo, which is not bad. We'll probably want to get that up to 5 or 6 when the opportunity presents itself. But in terms of upgrades, since I'm talking about that already, what we really want are special upgrades. We absolutely need the Concussive Blast to be at 4 as soon as possible. That will not be possible until Tier 2, because the game will not provide you with more than 2 super upgrades per tier. Now, that doesn't mean it won't offer more than 2, but once you have 2 upgrades in Tier 1, 2 super upgrades in Tier 1, it will stop offering them to you until you get to Tier 2. Then once you're in Tier 2, it will offer them to you until you have 4. And then once you hit Tier 3, it will offer them until you hit 6, at which point you're maxed and you can't get any more. So that is something to be aware of. Knowing that limitation, it does help us a little bit in planning out what we want to do. Super upgrades are fairly common, but if you get unlucky, they may not come quite as quickly as you would like. So it's kind of important to prioritize them, especially in a challenge like this where we're starting with 6 health anyway, so Shards of Resolve aren't quite as big a deal. I do like prioritizing supers over almost everything. There are a few things that I would take over a super upgrade. That would be health damage improving traits. The biggest one, obviously, is Lethal Elegance. That would be the absolute best. Then I'd probably say Heartseeker, and then I think it's called Serrated, which is a +2 health damage. Those are all quite good. However, the issue is that we must have Concussive Blast of 4. That's 3 slots. That leaves us only 1 slot for any other trait that we want. So if you get a trait like Weighted, normally Weighted is a no-brainer. You pick that up on your main weapon as soon as it appears, and you're happy to get it. For this challenge, though, if you take Weighted, you can't get Lethal Elegance. You can't get Heartseeker. So it's a bit more of a choice. However, it's not quite that cut and dry, because as I mentioned, we've got plenty of health to buy shards. A shard of Foresight, in order to increase the number of slots that you have in your Nightblooded Crest, is a really good investment, even if you're picking it up early while you still have a whole lot of slots. Normally, I don't like to take Shards of Foresight super early, but in this case, because we know that we're going to be using 3 on our main weapon and only leaving ourselves with 1, if we can pick up a Shard of Foresight and increase that to 2, that will make a big difference. As far as our Spellsword's Charm goes, we're in a similar situation in that we need 3 for our super. Having Void Trap at 4 is incredibly helpful for the Aether Horror, because being able to just do that 60 damage, you basically just... You can just basically choose to delete a phase of the fight and just say, you know what, I don't really feel like dealing with the Empowered combo, so I'm just going to press Void Trap on the last phase and just choose to win. I just made that choice. I'm sorry, Aether Horror, but I've decided that I've won, so I guess I'll crush your heart now. So having the ability to do that is obviously quite powerful. We would like that. It also comes in handy just throughout the run, especially once you get to Tier 3. So it would be nice if we could get Void Trap up early, but unfortunately, because of the limitation in only 2 supers per tier, we have to make a choice between Void Trap or Concussive Blast, and Concussive Blast wins hands down. And it's largely due to this. Short, right? It's a short cooldown, and it's a short cooldown on the one weapon that we'll be using. So we're going to be dealing a lot of health and guard damage with our weapon, so we're going to charge it super, super quickly, as opposed to the Spellsword's charm, which we're not going to be dealing damage with, so it's going to charge a lot more slowly. And this is important because we don't have blocks to charge. And that hurts, because you don't really quite realize how much guard damage you do from blocking and how much of that guard damage then translates into supers until you cannot block anything anymore. All you can do is dodge. I don't know if dodging gives charge or not. I would assume not, but if it does, it's probably nowhere near what blocking gives you, because blocking is dealing guard damage. All right. So I think that mostly covers it. There's only really one more thing to talk about. Well, actually, I suppose there's 2 things to talk about here. First is attacking with a Night-Blended Crest. So you can see here, it kind of looks like there are little Wolverine claws sticking out. The range on this is actually much further along than it seems. And also, if you're just barely out of range, the game will make you do like a little mini dash forward to put you in range. So I don't have my thumbs on the stick here, but if I swing, you can see how it moved me forward, even though my thumbs aren't on the stick. I did not choose to move forward, but because I was just out of range, the game moves me forward in order to land the hit. And even then, it looks like I should be missing him by, you know, a good deal here, but it still hits. So you've got more range than it looks like you do, so keep that in mind. Other than that, I like to swing vertically, or that's horizontally, or vertically. Try not to smack your VR headset. It's not too bad of a weapon once you get used to it. It's just a little bit different because the angle of striking is more like a guitar than it is with a weapon. So if this was a weapon, the angle would be coming out from the top of my fist here, and I'd be slashing like that. But with this, it's like that, right? It's invisible Wolverine claws. So just kind of pretend that's what you're doing, and that'll help out. All right, so last thing, dodging indicators. Oh, actually, because you could do this challenge at any level, I'd really recommend that you do it on relaxed. The 1 extra health crystal per encounter is going to let us make mistakes here and there and not get punished, which is quite nice. So anyway, I'm going to just show off dodging indicators real quick. I've turned the music off for this so that you guys can hear the audio cues. I'm going to kill this guy real quick because I want to use this guy to demonstrate. So, when you have a dodge indicator, once you're in the right position, you'll hear a very soft little thip sound. Listen. If it gives me a... So listen to the sound here. Hear that little shink? And also see how the indicator stops moving once you're in the right position? Well, I'll go out and then back into the position and probably get hit just to show you. See, you can kind of see that it kind of changes a bit. So if I go over and now back, you can see how it was like this, and then it went to the arrow again once I got out of the right position. So if you're in the right position, you could just stay there. Now notice how even though that was a different slash, you could see that the indicator wasn't moving, just like that again, so I don't have to move. As long as that indicator isn't moving, it is kind of lit up like that, you're fine. You can stay where you're at. However, there is one caveat to this, which I'm going to show you right now. So let's say I stay down here. Hey, it's pretty safe down here. He doesn't seem like he can hit me, right? Why don't I just stay here? That's why. So, what will happen is, between combinations, not between attacks, but between combinations, they will readjust what they consider to be the target, right? So right now, my target is where my head is here, right? So as he launches this attack, his target is there. Now his target is here. So to dodge this attack, I gotta go even lower. And if I stay down here, and he attacks me again, I'd have to kiss the floor. You don't want to do that. You really don't want to be kissing the floor. So, it is very, very important that you reset your position between combos, like I'm doing here. Is duck it. Whoop. Now, and you don't need to reset between swings. Remember, because I was able to dodge both of those if he does that same attack again. See this here? I don't have to reset between the first and the second swing, but I do need to reset as soon as that second swing is off, because if I don't, he's going to readjust what he's aiming at, and I'm not going to be able to duck the second one. If you do find yourself in that situation where you're down like this, and you notice that, oh no, the indicator isn't changing, that means you know you're going to get hit, just backdash. Just get out of there. If your back isn't to the wall, which mine is. So, that's pretty much dodging in a nutshell. Ideally, you should not even need to dodge all that much in this challenge. I know that sounds weird, but if you're managing your dashes correctly, and your powers correctly, you actually don't even need to dodge all that much. You especially want to avoid having to do Empowered Knights and the Empowered Aether Horror ones. Those are really, really difficult. Most of the others are fairly easy. You'll probably need to do some dodging on Knights and Captains early on until you get more charge up. But once you get into Tier 2 and you're at the point where you are trying to just abuse Concussive Blast, really the only thing you care about at that point is getting your charge, right? So then you're dashing in, hitting enemies to build up your charge and Concussive Blast, dodging back out. That's essentially what you're trying to do. You're not really caring about going toe-to-toe and breaking their guard, because you don't have to. All you need to do is get special and then let Concussive Blast 4 with the 5 initial damage plus the 16 from Soulburn. I believe it's 16. That gives you 21 damage every time that recharges, AoE to everything that you've got near you. And if you're doing that constantly, everything's going to get worn down eventually. You just need to not get hit and let yourself just play patient, don't get hit, get that back. The only thing you shouldn't play patient on are Spellweavers, which have to die, even more so than they usually do. And the reason for that is that it is fairly tricky to stop fireballs with this. I'm going to get attacked with fireballs at some point, so you'll be able to see me doing it. Even if I manage to kill all the Spellweavers before they get a shot off, we'll have to do it for the Aether Horror. So we'll have that to look forward to, which will be nice. Okay, so I think that covers pretty much everything we need to know before we start. There is just one more thing, if you're attempting this challenge, that I would highly recommend. And that is to hydrate. Because this ain't easy. And remember, and until you fall, you can hit the B button here, go into the menu, and you can sit here as long as you like. So if you need to take a break, you can certainly do that. Oh, there is one thing I forgot to mention on dodging. You'll notice that when I dodged, I was doing a lot of crouching. You don't necessarily need to crouch. You can just sort of lower your head like this, and those dodge attacks will, and the attacks that you normally have to dodge will miss you. I personally do not like doing that. The reason that I don't like doing that is because if my head is down like this, then what's happening is I'm staring at the floor. I'm not aware of what's coming. And that matters a lot, especially for those attacks that have the 1 attack and then the 2 attack. You can't see the indicators because your head is tilted so far down like this. Whereas if you're crouching, you're looking straight ahead or even looking up. You maintain awareness of what's going on around you. So because of that, I much prefer crouching down. If that's difficult for you physically, then by all means, feel free to do this and maybe sort of slouch over like this. That will work. That would be hell on my back. I don't want to do that. But find a way that works for you. There's advantages and disadvantages there. But that's why I do that. It's not that I'm not aware that you can't duck down like that. I know that you can. It's just that I personally don't like it. I enjoy being able to maintain awareness of what's going on at all times and seeing the next indicators coming in and seeing what the enemies around me are doing. I value that more than saving the effort of crouching. All right. So I'm going to just grab a drink here. And
this place could use a tidying up. No, there are more.
All right, so I had a bit of a tracker malfunction. Thankfully, that happened pretty much right when I started. so just a quick cut, and you guys don't have to worry about that, and we are ready to start the actual run. So let's go. So again, I really want to take advantage of my charge here. So you can see, with the charge, plus the 300% damage from Sucker Punch, we're able to drop his guard instantly, and even on this guy, we could get through his guard before he really has a chance to recover. And you can see there, we charge in, Abyssal Pulse to close the distance. Not really necessary for these guys, but just to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. I'm going to wait for his guard to re-go, and then I'm going to concussive, kill him off, then charge him while his guard's still down from the concussive. And there we go. And look at that, even though we used Concussive Blast to drop his guard, by the time we were done killing him, we got it back. Alright, so do we want combo or do we want a Shard of Resolve? This is a kind of a tough choice. We need combo eventually. I really don't want to be fighting the Aether Horror with 4. But there's probably going to come a time where our choice of what to take instead of combo is going to be fairly bad, especially once we have all of our slots filled and we stop getting traits. So I think I'm going to take the extra health, not because I want 7 health, but because I want Shards of Wrath, Foresight, and what's the other one? Courage? I think Courage is the guard damage one. I'd really like those, and the more health I have, the more of them I can pick up. So we're just going to back off, get our charges back. There we go. Wait for my charge. There we go. Wait for the charge. And he's going to attack me at some point. Nope, it's relaxed. I forgot. Alright. And I'm just going to cut with here and finish them off.
Returned to dust.
And so far, you see we've gotten through 2 rooms and I haven't actually dodged an attack. Alternating Strikes is quite bad with this setup, so I guess we're taking the dash attack, which isn't bad, because like I said, we're going to be making a lot of use of our dashes. So a little extra dash damage isn't the worst thing in the world. Would really like to get some supers, though. We're 2 rooms in and it has not offered me super yet. And you can just see here the power of dashing, that I can just burn through these guys. Even with it being a Monk of Rokar run where, you know, we can't exactly combo them. So you can see there, that was dash plus Abyssal combo. So now I'm just going to back off here. I have Concussive Blast up for him. So I want him to be away from a wall so that we can combo a dash into Concussive. And I want all my charges back, and once they're back, then fire that off, and then charge him again. We've got another guard break. By then, our Abyssal should be back. I'm gonna back off and charge back in. If we had our super, he would be dead. There we go. First actual attacks dodged. So we had to dodge 1 combo there out of fighting that whole night. So 3 rooms and we've dodged 1 combo. Okay, so this is a little bit of a difficult, well, normally difficult decision. Because obviously Shards of Resolve are very, very good. But for this challenge, we really want to get our Enhanced Super online as soon as possible. So we're taking it. So we've got plenty of health. Hopefully it doesn't mean that there's a shard down the line we can't take, but, you know, what can we do? I just Abyssal Pulsed him by accident. So we're going to make sure we hit everyone with this. And while the guard is down, I'd like to get some health damage in to recharge Concussive again. So we've almost got it. There we go. Concussive back up. Oh. Oop. That was close. There we go. So a little dodging at the end there. Same decision as before, and I think that it's still the right decision to get Concussive Last 2 online. Having it charged 50% faster is obviously quite important, so we want to do that. Get our first captain. I should have just left this guy guard broken and then killed that guy and then came back and comboed him, but I guess we're just not going to play optimally today. So, making sure that we get plenty of space behind him so we can charge, super, combo. And whenever possible, whenever you have Concussive up, you want to make sure you're using it, because it charges as you deal damage. So if you're sitting around dealing damage with it fully charged, you're missing out on charge. Because now look, we've got it back already. So just going to back off a bit. And the nice thing about captains are that they tend to be very slow and not very aggressive. So we've got all of our dash charges back again. And our Concussive is back up. So we can do the combo again. And we can just keep doing this and we never have to actually dodge any of his attacks. Because captains are slow and dumb. Also, a nice thing about them is they actually push you back, which enables you to charge back into them for free. Which is always nice. Bad thing about them is that they're a slog. They just have a lot of HP that you have to burn through. Thanks for the pushback.
Fantastic work.
There we go. Okay, Tenacious. I don't want Tenacious. So we are going to take Shard of Wrath. Increasing our damage, health damage from 3 to 4 is going to be quite nice. I think that means we can combo those guys in one combo. I just messed up and did a glancing there. So I don't know if I want to aggro the knight and the captain at the same time. It would be faster because I could hit them both with Concussive, but it's easier to fight them one-on-one, so we'll just do that. Cool. Almost got Concussive back. We'll probably get it back when we charge in here. So I want him to come more toward me so I can push him back with Concussive after I charge in. So I'll charge in. He's going to knock me back. I'm going to charge it again. Concussive. Charge it a third time. Get him away from the wall. We're going to charge and then Abyssal Pulse. Actually, I Abyssal Pulsed him before he knocked me back, which was wrong. I should have let him knock me back for the free charge on him. So now we've almost got Concussive back again, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to charge it and then Concussive. And we can keep this up forever and never actually have to dodge anything. Alright, well, we almost kind of had to dodge one there. Fleet or Sparklight? I don't really like either of those. Sparklight, we don't really have any way to combo it. I'm not a huge fan of Sparklight because it's so unpredictable, and when you get into tier 3 and you're dealing with knights, it makes it very difficult to manage their health so that they don't empower on you. It's not a bad thing because, like, if you do land it at 16, it's basically a proc for 16 extra damage, which is nothing to sneeze at. But without a weapon to really combo it with, like a ritual dagger, it doesn't feel all that great. And it's unlikely, like, betting on we would have to bet on the idea that we will get a Shard of Foresight, and then with that Shard of Foresight pick up Flame Starved, which would be crazy if it happened, because Concussive Blast at 4 does give you Soul Burn, which you can then combo with that. But the odds of that happening and that being what we want to bet on are pretty low. And Fleet is not all that great for this because we're so tight. So I think I'm just going to take the Aether, honestly. I don't really like either of these traits. And we're so tight on space because 3 out of the 4 slots on both weapons are going to be super upgrades that it's probably best if we just pass. Alright, so first Aether Horror fight. This will require some dodging. There's no real way around it. But not as much as you'd think. Okay. I want him to come out a bit. All right. So it's fine to burn Soul Trap there because the summon phase on Relaxed is just these guys. We certainly don't need specials to deal with these guys. In fact, these guys are nice because they're just going to help us recharge Soul Trap again. I don't think we'll get it fully charged off of them, but, you know. Kind of makes me think maybe I should use this to kill him. Maybe that'll give us some extra charge. Yeah, actually, it looks like that's working pretty well. Yeah, we've almost got it back. So if we combo him again, we might get it back up. Yep, there we go. Arcane is pretty good. We want to back up here. Okay. Oh, I think we hit him double there. Whoops. Okay, so incredibly slow AoE on Relaxed. Cool. So Aether Horror down. That's quite nice because now we are eligible to get supers again, and we would really, really like Concussive Blast 4. If they give us the super here, we're in good shape, but if not, we'll have to suffer through some tier 2 rooms without it. Alright, so suffering it is. Dash Impact is always good. You can see how we're using dashes, but I don't think it's better than a Shard of Resolve. So we're taking that. And again, it's not even so much for the health, but just for being able to take extra Shards of Wrath, Foresight, or Courage. Whoops. Oof. Alright, almost messed that up. Alright, so we got more guys coming in. I'm gonna hit them all. Push it back. Want to kind of keep the guard damage that I dealt on him. Push back again. Can we kill this guy before he hits us? Yes, we can. Alright. See, the best type of dodging is not dodging. It's dashing. Okay, so, Shard of Courage or another Shard of Resolve. Well, the main reason we're taking Shard of Resolve is to get these, so I'm probably going to take the Shard of Courage, although I do think the Shard of Courage is not nearly as useful as the Shards of Wrath. Largely because, as you can see, we're not really having much trouble with the guard damage because we're primarily using our dashes for that. But, you know, a 20% increase isn't bad, and if we get, like, weighted or something, then, you know, it becomes even more. Alright, so Spellweaver time. You want to be incredibly aggressive with them. The other thing to remember is that Concussive Blast will blow up all their fireballs that are in the area of the Concussive Blast. So if they fireball and you want to, or you think that, so if you're hitting one and then you see the damage indicator, or you hear them throwing one at you, you could just hit Concussive Blast to destroy it, not even have to stop beating them. It will knock back the one that you're fighting though, which is kind of an issue. So just be aware of that. You'd have to dash back in to continue your combo on them. Alright, so he is got a guy behind him, which would prevent us from pushing him back, which is annoying. So activated that there to not have to worry about him hitting us in the back, but it wasn't really optimal because we didn't get the guard damage in. It's just we're in kind of a crappy situation here. There we go. And I'm not going to use Concussive for him. We can deal with him pretty easily. Alright. Oof. This is a tough choice because another Shard of Wrath would be amazing, but when the game hands you Concussive Blast 4, you're taking Concussive Blast 4. That's a hard choice, largely because the special is more common than the Shard of Wrath. So we may not see another Shard of Wrath, whereas we're quite likely to see more power-ups, superpower increases. So it's rough, but it's going to come in handy here. So we're going to back off here a bit. We need our dash charges back, so we're just going to dodge a few attacks here, so we don't have to backdash as much. go. Alright, definitely want more health, more shards. Alright, now this is a little trickier because they're too far. I don't think if I pop it now I'm actually going to hit the other one. Also, I didn't start with it anyway. I think I got them both. Yep, they're dead. Away from the wall, please. Push me back, please. Thank you. And I'm gonna kind of reposition there. And Concussive 4 just makes this so much easier. Get our dash charges back. Thank you. Alternating strikes is awful. Chrono-locked. Oh. Normally I would take this in a second, but since this is a supposed to be like a walkthrough or guide, you are unlikely to get chrono-locked. And I feel like if I do chrono-locked, it's going to change a lot of the strategy that I'm using, and then this isn't really going to be helpful to you as a learning tool. So I'm going to pass up on it. But if this happens to you, please grab chrono. Well, come to think of it, actually, is chrono-locked good? No, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know. I have to think about it, because then you don't have the slot for anything else. So it's probably less useful than normal, but chrono-locked is... I would have taken it on a normal run. Probably just to... I've never done a Monk of Rokar where I had chrono-locked before. So I probably would have done it just for that. Just to see what that's like. But then, you know, it would alter my strategies and... So, again, the easiest way to dodge is to not dodge. And therefore... all I did there was, okay. All I did there was, I baited the empowered combo and then dodged out of it, which cancels it. Because we don't want to dodge empowered combos. We want to dash away from them.
Returned to dust.
The funny part is that I'm pretty secure in my ability to deal with empowered combos when I actually have a weapon. Even if it's a slow weapon, one-handed, I'm pretty good at that because I've practiced a lot. But I don't know those. I don't know how to do the combo when it's a dodge. So, all right. So, here's a decision: do we want Void Trap 2 or do we want our 5th combo? I think we'll take the 5th combo here. I do want to have Void Trap updated, upgraded by the end, but we've got time to do it. We really just need it by the Aether Horror. And super upgrades are common enough that and we need the combo eventually anyway, so we'll take it now. Okay, we don't have concussive up, so let's change that. Thank you. We'll do that to blow that projectile out of the air. She's got to the dot. All right. Hi. Concussive Blast 4 is a hell of a drug. What can I say? Oh, Shard of Foresight. Let's grab it. Feels a little late since we haven't gotten our first good, it does feel a little late. We're heading into tier 3 here to grab a Shard of Foresight, but we still have one empty. But now that we're into Tier 3, I can be a little less picky with the traits, just knowing that, hey, I'd like to not have them empty by the time we get into the Aether Horror. There's no summon phase on Relaxed, so don't really need to worry about killing them at the same time. It's better just to kill one, so you don't have to deal with it. But just as a point of fact, even on Nightmare, if you do manage to kill them both at the same time... Ooh, I don't know why that one hit me. If you do manage to kill them at the same time, you can bypass the summon phase. And it's not that hard to do with Concussive, because you can damage them both down until they're at the point where a single Concussive tick will kill them, and then Guard Break 1, you know, Concussive kill. Alright, Heartseeker. I'm going to take that over another shard of that, especially because, like I said, we're heading into Tier 3, so we really... Heartseeker is going to be a big help there, and we're also running out of time to get those sockets filled, so we'll take it. I'm going to chase down the Spellweavers here. And aggro the whole room in the process, but honestly, I would rather deal with the whole room than these guys. Or girls. Gals. Alright. So now we have an Empowered Knight and a Captain to deal with. This isn't as bad as it seems. And I'm going to try to see if we can get them stuck on the terrain. What we want is one on one side and one on the other. There we go. Oh, my plan there was to interrupt him with Concussive, and I didn't have it, so I got hit. Not exactly the smartest. So I want him to start his combo so that I can interrupt it. And then kill him. God, Heartseeker is so good. Look at that. I could kill him right now with Concussive, but I'd rather have it up going into the last room. Or going into the next room, I should say. I don't like using it on the last enemy, especially in a 1v1 like that, where I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to kill him without taking damage anyway. Okay, trait time. Unyielding. Yes, definitely. You definitely want Unyielding on Monk of Rokar, guys. Alternating strikes. Alright, well, we got serrated. For a minute there, I thought that the game was going to troll me by giving me, like, Unyielding, Alternating Strikes, and the last one would have been, like, Resonant or something. Like, yeah, extra charge when you guard. Alright, well, since we absolutely positively have to take one of these anyway, the two options that we essentially have is either grab a garbage trait for our Arcane Focus so that we leave a good trait open, or just grab this. And since we're losing a slot anyway, and Serrated is not bad at all, obviously it's not Lethal Elegance, but you know what, actually for demonstration purposes, this is a pretty good build. It's a good build, it's not a perfect build, it's not amazing, but it's pretty good. And that way you won't feel like, oh, well, you know, he only did it because he got, you know, Lethal Elegance. You need Lethal Elegance to do Monk of... No, you don't. You don't. Okay, so... She's dead to the dot. Cool. So, I love that. You just charge into them, activate Concussive 4. They're all dead, and the supercharge that I gained from killing them is enough to recharge Concussive Blast. That's why Concussive Blast is so good. Like, if you use Bulwark, the problem with Bulwark is that while it's active, you don't gain any charge for it. So the entire time it's up, any of the damage that you're doing, you don't get charged for it, which means that the cooldown ends up being arbitrarily much longer, even as a long cooldown. Maybe it's a medium. I don't know if I remember it's medium long, but it ends up being super long. Because even something like Soul Burn, if you kill an enemy with Soul Burn, the enemy kill still credits you toward recharging your super, just like you killed them with anything else. So it literally recharges itself, which is just amazing, right? But Bulwark can't do that, and that's kind of sad. It makes me sad. Okay, so we have double knights. So it's going to be basically the same type of strategy here. It's just going to be a little bit more difficult. Fortunately, it's relaxed, so he just let me beat up his friend. So we want to wait until he's no longer invulnerable, and we want to bait him into his combo. Here we go. Oof. And he actually got a hit off on me there. That's no good. That's also no good. Alright, we're just gonna stand here. There we go. But it's relaxed, so we get that one back. Note to self: when you're baiting combos, is keep low and pre-duck, so that way if they do that leap in like that, where it doesn't give you the indicator until the last split second, you don't get hit. That would have been the smart thing to do. I think at this phase, when we're halfway through, well, we're not actually halfway through, we're really like 2 rooms in, to phase 3, I don't want another Shard of Foresight, so I'm going to take the guard damage. We'll still have 5 health, which is totally fine. I don't want to go into the Aether Horror fight with much less than that, largely because I am planning on 2 to 3 damage taken from his fireballs, because I am not actually good at this game. Spoiler alert. Sorry if you watched this far thinking that I was. Oh, I have 3 empowered knights. Okay. Sure. Okay. So that happened. Why did... Oh god. And... Okay. Alright. We have 3 empowered knights. So, clearing her out is good, because now we have, got a little bit of charge, and now have free reign of the whole map. So, yeah. Okay. Now we have 2. That's a guard break over there, but I don't think I can reach it in time. Nope. He's going to be mad, and I have no dash charges. I apologize immediately. I'm very sorry, sir. I did not think through the consequences of my actions. I don't think he accepted my apology, guys. Oh god. Okay. Yep, sure. You do that. Alright. We have 1 empowered knight. Yep. You did. Alright. Okay. So, good to know dodging does give you, does charge specials. Good to know. Alright. Yeah, since we're not taking Shards of Foresight anymore, God, we don't even have Void Trap 2 yet. Yeah, we definitely need this. I don't know if we're going to have Void Trap 4 for the last boss. Oh. Probably not at this rate. God, I hate these. Really rather not aggro that guy back there. Alright. Come and get me. I just realized that I can't just stay sitting low to anticipate the attack like I said in the last room, because if I do that, then when he starts the combo, he's going to be aiming low already. So that's actually just really hard. Alright. Double-powered captains. This is gonna suck. That's okay, I have Void Trap, which will totally give me 3 traps. Oh, I did. Sweet. Are you gonna special? Nope. It's gonna charge. Special? Yep. Just say no to that. Whoop. Charge me. Charge me. Thank you. Alright, unfortunately we took 2 damage there, which means that we come in with the damage, which means we could get the healing shard here, which we did. Void scarred. Okay guys, it is time for the Shard of Shame. The Shard of Shame occurs when you have 1 health damage, and then the game gives you a Shard of Vitality, Aether, or a trait you don't want. And thus, you must take the Shard of Vitality to heal 1 health crystal. I have brought shame upon my family. Honestly, probably should have just taken the Aether for Rokari retirement fund. That's fine though. So same strategy, wait for him to leap in. Right. And this guy can be aggroed separately from her, so we definitely want to do that. 1 Empowered Knight by himself is not really a problem at all. I'm going to angle a bit so I push him back into there. That's interesting. Okay. 2 empowered. Alright. Yep. Just gonna decide that I don't feel like taking damage today. God damn it. Alright, that's cool. We're unrelaxed, not punished. No Shard of Shame this room. We don't want Fleet, so we're definitely taking Void Trap 3. Hey, maybe we will get Void Trap 4 before the boss. It's possible now. Alright. So, charge in, kill this guy, and then go after Empowered Soul Reaver and hope the Spell Weaver, and hope the Empowered Knight does not kill me. Oh, and aggro both guards, or both captains. Yes, aggroing both captains was a key part of that plan. For reasons. It may not seem like it, but believe me, it's just very complicated and hard to explain right now. Also, then empower him while you have no charge and no way to avoid the combo. Should definitely do that, too. Okay, he's gonna super. Oh, nope, okay. Nope, alright. Nope, no, no, no. Alright, I had no charge. Alright. Yeah. Thank you, charge. Yes. The charge is going to work one of these days, guys. I never anticipate it. Should just keep doing it. There's no way that I would expect that you're to duck during your obviously telegraphed charge. See. Okay, well, I mean, guys. Feel pretty good about that. Alright, unfortunately we didn't get Void Trap 4, but we got Arcane on a Spellsword's charm. Alright. So Phase 1 of this fight plays out much like Phase 1 of the first Aether Horror fight plays out. Except I deal quite a bit more damage now. So it's a lot faster. Alright, so 3 AoEs. Fireball Phase. AoE again, then 2 fireballs during an AoE. So for these, we want to be a fairly good distance away. Great. And now we want to come a little bit closer. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because we want to hit the second one and then get the hell out of dodge. Then we want to dash back so we've got some distance for the last fireball phase. Great. Now, in this phase, we want to be incredibly aggressive, because we've got the extra dash charges, so we can be. We want to end this as soon as possible. Alright, good. Alright, getting through that phase without taking damage is excellent. Better than I would have hoped for. I believe the spell slinger is over here. Yep. So, we want to kill her, but not till the first AoE. Because you're supposed to dodge that, but I took damage there. Because again, if you will remember, I am not actually good at this game. Right. Summon phase down, and we've got Soul Trap. Doesn't do as much damage as we'd like, but honestly, I don't think it's going to matter. And there we go. Done and done. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Was a pretty clean run, honestly. I'm very surprised. That was the first time I got through that fireball phase on Monk of Rokar without taking damage. The only damage I took there was because I totally messed up my movement. What was supposed to happen there during the summon phase is that you kind of get close-ish to the spellcaster so that she doesn't... because you want to charge in and kill her, but you don't want to charge in and kill her until the first AoE goes off, because otherwise what happens is you charge in, you break her guard, and then as you're comboing her down, the AoE happens, and then you turn around and try to dodge, and then you just face-plant against that zombie, and then you get hit. So I was trying to avoid that, but I ended up being in a different position, or I ended up face-planting into him from the other side instead. So that was a little bit of a mistake. But other than that, I did the fireballs perfectly, and then I was very aggressive during the fireball phase to end it as soon as possible, because I don't want to deal with dealing with his fireballs. So all in all, pretty good run. Traits were pretty good. I mean, no lethal elegance, but honestly, Heartseeker plus Serrated is, I would say, better than average for what you get. And of course, having Arcane was amazing. Would have liked it a little sooner than the right before the final boss, but anytime you get Arcane on Spellsword's Charm, you're going to have a fun time. So, there we go. Anyway, I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and I really hope that if you are struggling with this challenge, that watching me do it will help you, because we need more Monks of Rokar. We really do. And the more the merrier, I say. So, if you guys have any questions, thoughts, comments, please let me know, and I will do my best to answer them. If you are not if you like this game and you found this somehow through YouTube and not through the Until You Fall official Discord, I'd recommend that you join the Discord. The people there are all amazing and quite a bit better at the game than I am, so they can offer you a lot more advice and helpful tips on doing insane strategies than I can. There was a speedrunning tournament that's going on currently. It's a little too late to enter now, but you can get to see all kinds of just great gameplay from a lot of skilled players that way, learn a lot about the game. It's a really cool place to hang out, so I would invite everybody to go there because it's awesome. All right, again, hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.